Good evening and welcome to Leading Lady. I'm Lara Gboyega Adedeji. I'm so excited to have you here on this platform this evening. It's another time for us to challenge ourselves to become better, to become leading ladies, and to achieve our leadership destiny. This evening, I will be bringing another challenge your way, and I believe this challenge I'll be bringing your way will transform your life, transform your leadership, and help you to achieve your leadership destiny. Today, I want to discuss with you and challenge you on balance. Being a balanced person. What does it take to be a balanced person? When we talk about balance, what does it mean? Balance means stability. Balance being at the place of peace and at the state of peace. When something is balanced, it means that thing is at rest. That thing is at peace. Nothing moves, shakes, or make that thing move from the place it is. That's a balanced thing. So being a balanced person, what does it mean? It means that you are at a place of rest, a place of stability in your life. Now you want to say that looks like a very far goal or very daunting goal to achieve, but it is possible. As women, I'm sure we're very familiar with Proverbs 31, and we're familiar with the Proverbs 31 woman. When we look through the life and the story and the testimony of this woman, we will see a woman of balance. And what does it mean to be balanced in the 21st century? Because we could look at some things and say, okay, you were talking about those old times. Now in the 21st century, what does it mean? How can we be balanced in a world where women are so many responsibilities? You, as a career woman, you have your children to take care of. You have the business of the metropolitan city you are staying to deal with. And you also have your own ambitions, your own goals to deal with. How do you maintain balance in the midst of all this? And maybe you're a man that you are listening to us and you want to say, how do I become a balanced person? With all the things that are calling for my attention and screaming for time from me, how do I achieve balance in the midst of all this? Now, there's a scripture that came readily to my mind, which I believe so strongly that will be the reference of our thought and discussion and challenge tonight. And it is this very short but very important scripture. Godliness with contentment is great gain. Now, what does that mean? You say, okay, what's she trying to talk about? Is she talking about the fact that godliness and contentment can give me balance? Yes, that's what I want to discuss this evening. Godliness with contentment is great gain. And what you will gain by combining godliness with contentment is balance. Usually when you see somebody that has lost peace, has lost stability, maybe in a home, maybe in a job, maybe amongst our friends, our peers, you will find out that either of these two things are missing. It's either godliness is missing or contentment is missing. For you to attain balance in the 21st century as a woman, you need to engage these two. Godliness with contentment. When you have godliness, when you fear God, when you revere Him, when you put Him first, when your character, your living is in accordance with His instructions and His guidance, then you are godly. Then we can say you've attained godliness. But godliness is not enough. Being in the similitude of God is not enough. There's another very important attribute that we must add to our godliness, and this is called contentment. When you add contentment to your godliness, you will achieve balance. You will achieve peace in your career, in your home, concerning your children, concerning your aspirations, your goals, and your ambitions. You will be able to achieve balance. I was reading a story this morning while I was in the office. I read a story about an encounter that a young man had with a mother and his son. And it was such an encounter that brought me thinking. He had an encounter with this mother that could not control her son, and with this son that had such a very rude character. And when this man, told us the story of the encounter that he had with this woman and her son, one of the things that readily came to my mind is how many women are in the shoes of this woman, and how many children have become like this boy. Why? Because there is a mother that have lost balance. There's a mother that have not been able to attain balance. She has not been able to combine her role as a wife, as a mother, as an executive person, and as a daughter, maybe to her parents. She has not been able to galvanize all this together and attain a balance. Because I realized that in the 21st century, you either have a very fantastic wife and someone failing as a mother, or you have a very excellent executive director in a company and a awful mother at home or a awful wife at home. And it's not supposed to be so. We need to attain balance as a woman. We need to carry ourselves with such dignity. When we read the story of the Proverbs 31 woman, we will see a woman that had a lifestyle of balance. Remember, one of the things that readily comes to mind from that chapter of the Bible is that even during the winter, she said, our household have no fear for cold because she's up and doing. Because she's a balanced woman. She's a balanced woman. And the same thing for men too. We need to attain balance. I know you are busy. You're the breadwinner. You're the head of the home. You have responsibility. You have ambitions. You have things you want to do. But you must be able to attain balance. And you must put into practice this scripture. Godliness with contentment. Because many a times we run and pursue things that are not worth it. I was speaking to an elderly person some days back, and he was sharing his experience with us. And he came to realize that the things that we run after in the world today, in 10, 20, 30 years down the line, some of our actions we will regret. Because we will realize that they are not worth it. And we have expended so much time on those things. One of the things I try to do is do a self-evaluation of myself. I'm sure we're familiar with the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule, the 20-80 rule. We'll realize that some of the things that we spend 80% of our energy and time on, they only give us 20% satisfaction. And the things that gives us 80% satisfaction and fulfillment, we spend less than 20% of our time on it. So do you want to sit back and evaluate yourself? Am I balanced? What is suffering in my life? What area of my life is having a challenge right now? Am I taking care of my children enough? Am I being that wife that my husband needs? Am I an award-winning mother? Can my children rise up and call me blessed? Can my husband say, beauty is deceitful, charm is fading away. Beauty is fading away. Charm is deceitful. But a woman that fears the Lord will be praised. Can people around me look at me and say, I'm an inspiration, I'm a mentor, I'm a motivation to them? Is my life balanced? You want to ask yourself this all-important question. Because some of the questions I ask some of my colleagues is that after you run around, abandon this child or these children, and you gather all the money, how much fulfillment will that money give to you 20, 25 years down the line? So I want you to major. The way you can be balanced is to major on the major and give less attention to the minor things. Because at the end of the day, without godliness, without contentment, you can't have a great gain. And all that we want in life is to achieve a great gain. Nobody wants to look back and have regrets. You want to look into your life and you're excited about the decisions that you have made. You are excited that the decisions that you have made, they have paid off. So do you want to start focusing on the things that will pay off? Or you want to continue to focus on things that will only pass away with time? I read a story about a class, a psychology class, that a psychology professor ran with his students, a test rather, that a psychology professor ran with his students. And he called one of his students forward. And he said, write 6 names in a sheet of paper of people that are very important to you in your life right now. And the person started penning down. In that story, she penned down the names of the people. She penned down her parents, her husband, her son, her colleagues, and her neighbors. Now, the professor now turned to her and said, okay, out of the names, the 7 names you've penned down here, I want you to remove 2 names. And she gladly removed the names of her colleagues. And the lecturer looked back to her and said, okay, remove another 2 names. She was so excited, and she removed the names of her colleagues, of her neighbors. Now, after removing the name of her neighbors, she was left with 4 names on that sheet. And she was asked, remove another 2 names. And now it was very difficult. She felt pain. She felt, wow. But after some persuasion, she removed the name of her father and her mother. After a bit of persuasion, she was asked to remove another name. Now she's left with 2 names, the name of her husband and the name of her son. And she was persuaded, remove one person's name. Then this woman burst into tears. She started crying. Those were the 2 most important people in her life. And she started crying that she has to make a choice, that he should allow her to keep the names. Said no, that this test, you must be left with a name. And she painfully removed the name of her son. And after that test was conducted, they asked her, why did you remove the name of your son? Why did you make all the choices you made? She said, in her exposition, she said that, she had to remove the name of her colleagues because, all they had was a work relationship. And they were not that important to her. Work can always change. She said, okay, why did you remove the name of your neighbors? He said, oh, wow. My neighbors, they're just my neighbors. We just have that affinity. We greet each other. We live around the same neighborhood. There is no bond like that. He said, okay, why did you remove the name of your parents? He said, wow, that she had to remove the name of her parents because her son and her husband, they are very important to her. Her parents have done the bits that they can in her life. And that because of the choice she had to make, she had to remove them. He said, okay, the last decision, what was it? She said, wow, that she thought about it, that her son was going to grow up one day and leave her and go and marry and settle somewhere else. There is only her husband that have made up his mind to spend the rest of his life with her, that she can't trade that for anything. And it dawned on that woman that the most important person in her life on that list is her husband. But she has not been giving that man that much attention. Do you want to do an evaluation like that? Look deep into your life. What have you been doing? What attention? What are the people you've been giving attention? What are the things you've been giving attention? The way you can have a balanced life is to major on the major. Major on the major things. Do a self-evaluation. This is how you can attain your leadership destiny. You can't be busy with so many things and you're not holding on to the major thing. After Martha was carried away cooking and doing all that, Jesus said to her, he said, Martha, you are encumbered with so many things. You are very busy, like many of us are today. But he said, Mary has chosen the right path, sitting at my feet, and that cannot be taken away from her. That was godliness. Mary exemplified godliness, and Jesus said it cannot be taken away from her. So we need to sit down as leaders, men and women alike, and evaluate ourselves. Let's look deep down into our lives. Are we balanced? Are we balanced? Are we actually, do we have godliness and do we have contentment with it? Because it's until we have this that we can be balanced, we can live a stable and peaceful life. And at the end of the day, we can live a life without regrets. That's the challenge I've brought to you on the Leading Lady today. I believe this word has brought about a change, a shift, and a transformation in your life. What I want to enjoin you to do is to sit back and do a true assessment of your time, of your investment, and of the priorities of your life. And do a reordering of some sort if you have to. And do some scheduling of some sort if you have to. So that you can have a balanced, peaceful, and a stable life. Thank you very much for investing your time with me here on The Leading Lady. I'm Lara Gboyega Adedeji. Have a wonderful weekend. God bless you.